Going the distance for local sports. This is X Sports Today.
If you're looking for a company that can do it all when it comes to building, look no further than Tennessee Properties. From new home builds to remodels and commercial projects, our contractors work hard to give your space a new life from planning to finishing touches. Whether it's new interiors or dirt work, they see your big picture without forgetting the small details. In the market for a new home, they partnered with Freeman Development to bring new homes to the Oak Hill subdivision of Lawrenceburg. That's Tennessee Properties, licensed and insured. Call today or visit tennessee.com.
Southern Craft Manufacturing is dedicated to creating the finest quality and greatest value products in the death care industry. Southern Craft has perfected blending old world craftsmanship with modern manufacturing technologies to create a full line of steel, wood, and corrugated caskets. Family owned and operated for over 30 years, Southern Craft is now looking to hire local and regional truck drivers, welders, and production workers, each with great starting pay and a benefits package. For more information, visit southerncraftmfg.com.
At Flora Mid-South Realty, we pride ourselves on our family values, professional service, and a deep local knowledge. With a small town feel and a personal touch, we're here to help you navigate the real estate process with ease. Whether buying, selling, or renting, you can trust us to guide you every step of the way. And don't forget to catch Flora Rockstars, our live podcast every Tuesday morning at 8. Flora Rockstars, rocking the real estate news and all things local. Flora Mid-South Realty, your hometown real estate experts.
Gifts and goodies galore await you at Miss Millie's in downtown Lawrenceburg. From brands you know and love, like E. Newton Jewelry and Tyler Diva Wash, to unique specialty gifts, you will find it all here. Whether you're looking for the perfect gift for someone you love or shopping for yourself, shopping local is the way to go. We have home goods, women's fashion and accessories, baby items, and lots of seasonal decorations. Our friendly staff will welcome you in, help you find what you need, and even package your gifts for you. Also, we can't forget to tell you about our popular bridal registry. Future brides can come and create their perfect registry with us. So stop by Miss Millie's today. We're located in the northeast corner of the square in downtown Lawrenceburg.
Since 1955, Evers Construction has been the company folks have trusted for residential and commercial construction projects. Today, Evers is still the leader in building and is just as committed to maintaining. From residential to commercial and industrial, Evers' team of experts stands ready to install, service, and repair all your HVAC and plumbing needs. Specializing in leak repair, maintenance, air duct cleaning and repair, air handler service, drain cleaning, gas line work, emergency unit repair, inspections, and more. Evers Construction offers a preventative maintenance package to keep your home or business cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Trained, trusted, reliable. For more information or to schedule an appointment with the pros who know, phone 931-762-3593 or visit eversconstructionco.com. Evers Construction Company in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Efficiency, reliability, accuracy. Move forward with your real estate sale or purchase with Title and Escrow of Lawrence County, the most experienced closing team around. Working with clients locally and throughout the state, we offer a wide range of services, including the expertise of an on-staff attorney, backed by our more than 49 years experience in titles and closings. We get the job done on time at a fair price and ensure every last detail is correct. Our goal is to give you peace of mind. When you work with us, you work with people who live where you do. We understand the importance of the real estate community and strive to build strong relationships with all parties involved in the process. Whether you're buying a home, selling a business, acquiring land, or anything in between, you're in good hands with Title and Escrow of Lawrence County.
Put the most experienced closing team on your side. Contact Title and Escrow of Lawrence County today.
Arts, crafts, stationery, journals, books, educational toys, wrapping paper, devotionals, greeting cards, and much more can all be found at Paper and Thread in downtown Lawrenceburg. Shop local to find the perfect gift or have a custom gift basket made for just the right occasion. Paper and Thread has a party room now available for birthdays, classes, and so much more. We could go on and on about all the neat things you'll find at Paper and Thread, but you just need to hop in your car and head down there. 106 North Military Avenue in Lawrenceburg is where you'll find them and discover what makes Paper and Thread awesome. That's Paper and Thread in downtown Lawrenceburg, 106 North Military Avenue, just north of the square.
Mac Brown has been providing photographic services for 55 years. During that time, Mac Brown photographers have photographed children, seniors, weddings, schools, musicians, and commercial businesses. The studio takes great pride in producing quality photographs and services for its many clients. While the studio has adapted as times have changed, their goal of providing excellent photography has remained constant. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit their website at macbrownphoto.com or give them a call at 931-762-4263. Let the professionals at Mac Brown Photography turn your memories into treasures.
Welcome to the newly remodeled Brass Lantern. For over 30 years, we've been serving delicious food to excellent people. Brass Lantern takes pride in authenticity, serving fresh, homemade food to please any member of the family. From mouth-watering to one-of-a-kind steaks served with gourmet marinade, to salad with our signature honey mustard dressing, specialty fruit tea, drafts, and much more. Our food is always prepared daily. Whether you come in with friends or family, you'll appreciate that fresh is better.
Let me tell you about a place that has it all. For your home, bedroom, kitchen, lawn, and more. It's a home-owned and home-operated business that's been around for over 70 years, so you know they're doing something right. At Swap and Shop Center in Lawrenceburg, you'll find top name brands for every room of your house, and top brands for the outside too. Looking for appliances, televisions, couches, safes, bedding, mowers, and well, the list goes on. So make the drive today to 824 North Military Avenue in Lawrenceburg and be treated right.
I'm Mike Keith, and my friends at Elliott Johnson Insurance have a great partner in Auto Owners Insurance. Auto Owners makes it easy to get life, home, car, or business insurance. Let Elliott Johnson Insurance find the Auto Owners policy that makes a difference in your life. Call Elliott Johnson Insurance at one of their 3 locations, Florence, Loretto, and Lawrenceburg. Elliott Johnson Insurance, moving forward for our clients every day.
Going the distance for local sports. This is X Sports Today.
And welcome here to X Sports Today. Joined AJ Good, joined by Taylor Plott, Michael Marks, Hayden Burks. Guys, good to be back in the studio. You guys held down things very well. Had no doubt that was going to be the case, being gone for the week. Good to go back and see some of my family. Haven't been back to my home state of West Virginia for a year. Got my daughter to blame because, she just had to be born right after Christmas. So, actually, it's more to blame on mommy and daddy, but we're not going to go into specifics on that here on the show today. But it's good to be back and missed you guys. I had no one to talk sports with other than my dad. And, my daughter's saying a few words, but, none of them are, asking me about my thoughts about the Big 12 or the SEC, or do I think the 49ers really have a chance to compete this year in the NFC. So, certainly I'm glad to be happy to be back here talking sports once again with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we tried to hold down the fort without you. Definitely wasn't the same quality, but glad to have you back and have a full table now to talk some ball.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, got some big news just breaking right now in the NBA. The Pacers general manager in a press conference saying that Halliburton will be gone for the rest of the year. So big blow to a team that made it all the way to the NBA Finals. It's just so weird. You see it more in the NFL than what you do other sports, but those teams, they get to the finals, they lose, and then it almost seems like just everything falls apart after that.
Yeah, and with this case, it just ends up being injury related, and it's just so unfortunate that Halliburton dealt with that injury. Obviously, we hope that he has a speedy recovery, and obviously they're saying that he's going to be out for the entire next season, which most likely you would think that would end up being the case. Basically, he tore his Achilles in Game 7, so end of the season.
That was probably the worst time.
It's the worst time he could do it because it's a year recovery from that point, basically. But it's a blow for them. But I still feel like they have at least a decent amount of a good group of guys around them that Hayden maybe next man up mentality, and maybe you could pick somebody up free agent wise, or maybe do like a quick trade to have like someone there in place of him for a year. But it's just one of those things where you hate to see it. Now you hate to know that, especially if you're a Pacers fan, you're not going to have Halliburton for 2026.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Michael.
I was just going to say it's a tough loss, but I do like that their president and GM have kind of stepped in and made sure that he's not going to, I know as basketball fans, we all want him back as quick as possible, but with an injury like an Achilles injury, and we've seen, the talks about it, about how they're, maybe happening more frequently. I like that they're kind of, taking the heads-on approach, and like, we're going to make sure he is 100% good before we put him back on the court again, because you're rushing back, he tears it again, now you're out 2 years. And could you even, come back from a double torn Achilles, stuff like that?
Yeah, that's the thing, is like at that point, is that now career ending? Because obviously you tear your Achilles once, most people are able to come back from that and actually perform pretty well. But you tear it again, that's a good point. It's like that. Could that be all right? He's coming back, but he's never going to be the same
even
again.
Further than just the damage to your body, just like the mentality of you've spent 2 years out of a sport where you have to be at the the top 0.1% to be able to even compete at that level.
And also because there's been baseball players that talk about this too, where you get Tommy John surgery, you come back, and your mind has to kind of retool itself to think, when I throw, everything's okay. I'm not going to do anything. You tear it again. Now there's a lot of players are like, it's a big mental wall to break through, because now you're worried to death that next throw you make is going to be your last. And there's definitely that aspect of it where you definitely want to have precautions with bringing him back early.
And even with baseball, just going on like the Tommy John thing, is we've seen like new, sort of surgeries and procedures to get done to have people come back quicker. But then we're seeing them get hurt again. So, good heads-up move by the Indiana's kind of front office.
Yeah, for Indiana, obviously it's a big move for them to make that decision. Obviously, we saw in free agency and all the trades that have been going down, and the draft, they lose Miles Turner to Milwaukee. Weren't able to pick him up, didn't get Ayton. So, all they got is Thomas Bryant and Isaiah. I can't remember his last name. I know he went to Texas, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, losing him, and then you have Halliburton. Like you said, probably one of the worst times to have an injury like that. I would probably say the worst timing injury that ever happened that I've seen was Klay Thompson tearing his Achilles the day of the draft. Before he, was recovering from the ACL. That one was terrible timing. But anyways, if you look at the Pacers, obviously it's kind of going to be more of a reload year. They might be in the play-in tournament. Maybe they can get back to the finals. I know Carlisle, he'll have his guys ready to go. T.J. McConnell, obviously he'll be a big factor for the team this upcoming year. Benedict Mathurin and stuff like that. So, we'll see where the Pacers go from here.
Yeah, and just losing one big piece out of a team that was very role-player oriented, maybe they can make another run at it. But so far through the offseason, they haven't shown that they're trying to make a move to compete for this year. Maybe just kind of taking like a 1 year kind of step back, as we've seen teams like Boston doing this year.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like a college situation where you've talked. Well, we lost 2 of 5 starters last year, but they did. And those are 2 big guys. Turner gave you a lot of height, gave you some rebounding. He didn't play too much in the paint because he was more of an outside shooter. But you lose him to Milwaukee, then now you lose your quarterback for the year. This team is probably, unless something happens in free agency, but a lot of these guys are starting to get swept up. You're looking at maybe they'll be lucky to make it to the play-in the way things are right now.
Yeah, well, the question that I would have, this would be obviously going into preseason and then the beginning of the regular season, is who are you going to have to take over that role? Because right now you look at the roster, I would want McConnell to try to take that role.
Right.
And he has proven that he can be that guy coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Now, can he be the guy who's going to be in the starting lineup and bring you that kind of same energy, if you will, day in and day out? But kind of going with what Michael was saying, this could end up just being a year for Indiana where it's just, it sucks, but you just gotta,
kind of gotta eat it.
Kind of gotta eat it and move on. And I still think they have a good group of guys, and maybe they get to the play-in, and I think that would be a success for them to be able to get into that and even win and go into the main bracket.
And a 1 year turnaround isn't completely unseen in the NBA. When in 2007, when the Celtics made all those offseason moves to bring in Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen and add to that team that had Rondo and Paul Pierce, they went from one of the bottom teams in the East to number 1 in the East and winning the finals within a year. So it's not like Indiana, sorry, this was your one chance, it's over. You have the opportunity. It's just this year you're gonna have to bite the bullet.
Yeah,
and especially how wide open the East is going to be. You think, okay, Tatum's out, so that hurts Boston. Now you got Halliburton out, that hurts Indiana. Cleveland can step up there in a big way. Milwaukee now adding Miles Turner, getting rid of Lillard, who really didn't do much for you. That gives Giannis more of an opportunity to step in there. Miami, you can never count out what Miami can do.
They just got Norman Powell, another scorer.
Toronto's got some high. Now I want to say high value. They paid a lot of money for these guys.
The Knicks have a coach now.
Yeah, the Knicks have a coach.
They've actually done some good things in free agency.
Yeah. Philadelphia, they'll be back with all their guys healthy.
Who knows?
Who
knows?
George
about making more podcasts.
Who knows?
They got VJ Edgecombe, which I think is going to be a good player.
So it's just so wide open. Speaking of wide open, I don't know how we can break down the 17 trade, but. We do have a 7-team trade that is eventually going to take Kevin Durant to the Rockets and won't be official until this coming Sunday. But the Rockets, Hawks, Nets, Warriors, Lakers, Timberwolves, and Suns, 6 players: Durant, Jalen Green, Dylan Burks, Clint Capella, David Roddy, and Daquan Plowden. 1 first-round pick, number 10 selection by Phoenix via Houston as part of the Durant deal for center however you say it.
Malawach, from Duke.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, the Duke player,
And 12 second-round picks were also moved. In addition, Houston made a second-round pick swap with the Hawks, sent them cash considerations. So
there's a lot going on there.
Is there a way that you can actually have a 7-team trade that like everybody wins?
Yeah, I really don't know who won. But
I don't know who won or lost.
I don't know if y'all have noticed. Something's up with these second-round picks. They are at an all-time value.
That's a hot commodity right now.
Yeah, second-round picks are unreal.
Well, I know in the NFL you can still get good players in the second round, but when it comes to NBA, usually guys outside of the lottery typically don't have the best career. Your best players are typically getting picked first, and other than Jokic and Draymond Green and a couple guys like that, you're typically not getting much value out of the second half of the draft.
It's a really like you said, like you find all kinds of steals in the NFL in the second round. Like a lot of people treat the second round like they treat the first round because
it's just as good talent.
You're going to find starters in the first 3 rounds. 4 through 7 is kind of a toss-up, but you're thinking first and second round guys. These are guys you're going to build your future on. Baseball, certainly, you're going to find all kinds of great guys in the second round. Hockey's the same way. But basketball, most of the time they treat the second round like baseball treats a 39th round.
Yeah, it's just, it's here.
We're drafting 16-year-old kids just for the heck of it.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. And now all of a sudden it's like, I noticed that during the draft. I'm like, why is everyone shifting around so many second-round picks? Do they know something we don't know?
Yeah. Like, is there a diamond in the rough out there somewhere?
The only thing that I could think of is if you go and look outside of your superstars, just specifically this draft, and you can even go back, I think, for like the next, I would say maybe 5 years, something like that. And you take away your Cooper Flaggs, your Colin Sextons, your all those stars. Go and look at the NCAA tournament. Some of those teams that are like Creighton or the Baylor teams that were really good. You had really good quality, just glue guys, if you will, on those teams that aren't flashy, and they're not giving you 20 points a game. They're not going to be first-round picks.
But they help in the locker room.
But they help in the locker room. But not only that, but they're very solid, either coming off of the bench or they're in the starting rotation, and they're consistently giving you good points, good rebounds, good numbers, good solid numbers. And I'm wondering if they're starting to kind of think of that and be like, these are so-called diamonds in the rough.
Right.
Because you need those guys on your roster. Yes, they might not be in the starting lineup. McConnell, for instance. McConnell was what, undrafted?
Yeah, he was undrafted,
think?
yeah.
Look what he's doing. So I think maybe they're starting to kind of come around to the idea that, hey, there's a lot of good players that will be in that second round, and we just want to try to find someone who fits in. And next thing you know, 5-10 years from now, you're thinking, oh, well, that dude's got a heck of a career going on right now.
Well, the only other thing I can think of is like slot value. It's, maybe the 38th pick doesn't, it's getting paid, I don't know, $600,000 or $700,000 more than maybe the 45th pick, and teams moving that around because with this new second apron and all the penalties that come with it, people are trying to stay as low as it's under the salary cap as they can.
So not only is like you're obviously trying to find good quality players in that second round, but you're saving money. You can afford them too.
You're saving money, and then also I think it's kind of goes back to what the Pacers did. Like the Pacers team, they proved that you can win without having superstars on your team. If all you got to do is get a bunch of role players that play well together, like Obi Toppin, he was a lottery pick, and then McConnell undrafted. Just, good young quality players like that. You can go to the NBA Finals. That's why I'm thinking, like you said, Taylor, maybe they're looking for glue guys and locker room presence to have that.
And a trade that just happened earlier this morning. NBA's not done quite yet. Another multi-team trade. The Clippers, Jazz, and Heat agreed to a trade that sends Norman Powell to Miami, John Collins to the Lakers, and Kevin Love, Kyle Anderson, and a Clippers 2027 second-round pick. There's another to Utah. Sources have told ESPN. Powell, coming off his best season, average career high, basically 22 points, was an all-star candidate, played all 60 games. He played in for the first time in his career. Collins, 27, big athletic guy for the Clippers, 6'9", averaged 19 points, 8 rebounds, 40 games for the Jazz last season. So some big, I think everyone kind of won in this one except for Utah, unless you're just I didn't know Kevin Love was still playing, to be honest.
I think they just bought him out.
Yeah, I was saying they just bought him out to release him. But honestly, I do think this was a good trade. Norman Powell, again, having one of the best years of his career, going to a Miami team that's kind of one of those fringe teams, like the Steelers. They're maybe a move or two away from being really good. John Collins, very athletic, big guy, going to the Clippers with a team that's aged but has some veteran presence. He'll be out there with Harden and Kawhi. It's this Clippers team, starting to build up for a run, and then again, with the Heat getting Powell and the Jazz. I mean, I think they were maybe just trying to unload some guys there. You're buying Kevin Love out. You get Kyle Anderson. I mean, the Jazz aren't looking to make any big moves anytime soon. At least this season,
they're going to build for the draft.
They're looking to the future.
And they're in the West.
Yeah,
it's brutal.
If you're in the East, you're thinking, okay, you never know. Anything can happen.
You can flip in the year. Yeah, if you're in the West,
let's play for the lottery picks.
Let's play for a lottery and see what happens.
This coming draft is supposed to look even better than the draft.
Yeah, this upcoming draft.
Let's get some lottery picks. Well, guys, coming up next, we're talking some Major League Baseball. We got one team cleaning house and some all-star snubs to talk about when we return.
Flooring sets the tone throughout your home.
For flooring that makes the right first impression, start by choosing us, Floored by Justin.
A one-stop flooring destination. Our new location stands alone for unequaled customer service and selection. Owner Justin Story's mastery of custom hardwood inlays means every room can have a custom look. Discover how the right choice of hardwood, laminate, carpet, or tile can set the tone in your home. Contact Floored by Justin today.
Make your property rock and roll with services from G&S Excavating, specializing in white sand, compost, mulch, topsoil, landscape gravel, and steel landscape edging. Turn to the pros who know how to make your project shine with years of experience. The best part is they're locally owned and operated. Choose from a vast selection of mulch and rock from their conveniently located facility at number 3 Valley Road in Lawrenceburg, just off Buffalo Road. Phone 931-279-3841 and get started today.
What really matters during the ball game, we're at that point in the season where some are just beginning, some have already ended, and others are at that point where it's either win or go home. Depending on what your perspective is, it changes everything, doesn't it? In 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 18, we're reminded we don't look at the things that are seen, but at the things that are unseen. For the things that are seen are temporary, but the things that are unseen are eternal. Keep your focus, keep your perspective on the right things, the things of God, the eternal things. And that message brought to you by your friends at the Leoma Church of Christ.
The Raptor Series from Hustler Turf. A premium line of residential mowers designed with a wide stance for operator comfort, a one-piece 11-gauge steel frame and welded steel deck for added durability, finished off with premium Kawasaki V-twin power. We are Hustler Turf, and this is Hustler Country.
Welcome to Employee Resources Credit Union, where you're more than just a number, you're family. We provide financial solutions that rise above those of traditional banks. With roots stretching back to 1964, we've served 4 generations during constant industry changes. We're known for our low fees and incredible rates. Join us and experience the credit union difference. BRCU, not for profit, for service.
The Summit of Lawrenceburg is the premier senior and assisted living community in the region. The Summit makes it home for you or your loved one with diverse suites that welcome and encourage community, plus gathering spaces, neighborhoods, daily activities, and a wonderful staff that supports you every day.
Hi, I'm Tara Blue. I'm the new director of the Summit, and we would like to invite you and your family to come and tour our facility. We would love to see you here.
Going the distance for local sports. This is X Sports Today.
And welcome back to X Sports Today. AJ Good with Taylor Plott, Michael Marks, and Hayden Burks. Guys, time to switch things from the hardwood over to the diamond. Getting ready to come up on the All-Star game, but as we head to that midway point, I think we're beyond the midway point right now. Nationals have had enough of their front office. Mike Rizzo and Dave Martinez, who I like Dave Martinez a lot. He was one of the bench coaches for the Cubs when they won it all in 2016, and him and Brandon Hyde. And I think did Hyde get fired in Baltimore, or is he still there?
Oh, I think he's still there. Yeah. I know there's talks.
Well, yeah, he's talks. But, Mike Rizzo's kind of been teetering on that spot for a while. But, man, what a fall from grace, guys. What was it, 2021? Was it 22 when they won the World Series?
21. No,
Braves.
19.
19, yeah, because the Braves,
right.
Because that was the year the Braves were,
Yeah.
of course, that's a lot of years.
19 beat the mighty Houston Astros to win the World Series.
That was a great
one of the best
series.
7-game series.
That Game 7 was incredible. Game 6 was great.
Yeah.
You know, every it was no one won in their home ballpark.
So all 7 were road wins.
So you go from that, and then all these years later, you don't have Juan Soto anymore, no Scherzer, no Strasburg. You know, they're older anyways, but, you know, time kind of passed by, and I feel bad for Dave Martinez in a way because Rizzo didn't give him any really good players to work with. Their minor league system isn't really known to be one of the best. So I just, that's one of those things that drives me crazy about baseball firings. Like, some of them might make sense, but this guy won you a World Series, and then you gave him crap to work with for the next 5 years, and you expect him to win 90 games and put you in the playoffs every year. Like, the Rizzo thing I can understand. I just don't understand the Martinez part of it.
Yeah, I'm completely with you on that, and this is just one of those where I feel like the way that the Nationals, outside of Dave Martinez, talking about Rizzo and the front office, all that aspect, it seemed like they did a good job from like the, I would say maybe 2015, obviously, into the season that they won the World Series, where they were getting these good players, drafting these good players. They did start kind of building their farm system up, and you got your Strasburgs there. You ended up getting, who was it? Was it Anthony Rendon? Was he on that team too? You had Rendon, and you'd had.
Didn't that guy parlay that? That's one of the worst deals of all time.
I tell you what.
What a waste of talent that guy is.
But you had that good talent, and it led you to that. And then going off of your point, all of a sudden it's like, well, Scherzer can go, Rendon can, all Soto can go. Once, I mean, all that stuff.
Let Harper go the year before.
And let Harper go to the Phillies, and then all of a sudden you're just sitting back and you're like, well, who did we get to build from that?
Yeah.
Didn't get anybody.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking, their farm system obviously not great. They got fleeced by the Dodgers. I'm looking at that Max Scherzer and Trey Turner deal. All they got back for it was Josiah Gray, who I don't think is with the team anymore. A couple of names you don't know, and then their backup catcher. I mean, that was a bad trade. They actually got a really good deal in the Juan Soto trade when they sent him to the Padres, and they got probably their 3 best players from it. James Wood, obviously, C.J. Abrams, and Mackenzie Gore. But man, looking at their team, other than that, they don't have anybody. Like, they have some good players. James Wood going to be an all-star in the home run derby. C.J. Abrams is a pretty good shortstop. Mackenzie Gore is, I think, 3rd in the majors in strikeouts right now. But that's it. That's all you have.
The thing that is so different with the baseball aspect from, say, the NBA, where yes, NBA you have the G League, so that's that's your minor league system of your NBA franchise, but you have players that 90% of them on your NBA roster for basically your entire history at that point is going to end up being who you drafted, and they're going to be on the team or within the NBA. Very rarely are you going to get stuff come up from the G League and actually be successful. You'll get them every now and then. But from the baseball aspect, that farm system is your life.
Yes.
It is
because without it, well, 1, you have no trade pieces, and 2, you have no future.
You have no future, and you have, what about injuries? I mean, you're going to have to dip down into AAA. That is where you build those good players. And if you don't have a farm system, your only bet is being able to get trades and free agents. And it seems like they ended up either trying to do that with trades and free agents, or they thought that they were going to be able to build some of these players within their farm system, and they just didn't perform. So I'm going back. I'm with you. I wouldn't put that all on Dave Martinez, because he has proven that he is a good manager. He has done, I think, the best that he can with what he has been dealt. It's not his fault.
No, I think that's a Mike Rizzo problem. And when you're like you guys said, if you're not bringing in good talent or comparable, it doesn't have to be comparable, but maybe something that you can develop that can be comparable. But when your minor league system isn't good, I mean, when's the last time someone's like, man, we got to get that guy out of AAA at Washington? Same with the White Sox. When's the last time we want to get that guy out of AAA for the White Sox? Like,
maybe just because, hey, that might be the best player on our team now.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
really.
Yeah, looking at Washington, their number one prospects, 21-year-old right-handed pitcher. It's in Double-A right now. So again, it's the. But they do have the number one pick coming up on July 13th. A bunch of big name. There's probably 10 guys that could be the number one pick this year. So hopefully they'll find a way not to screw this up.
We're about to find out if Rizzo was the problem for them.
Yeah.
Because if they go into this draft and they get some good players, and then you kind of look 3-4 years down the road, you might come back to this moment and be like, that was the move that we needed to do.
That was a good move, yeah.
My favorite Mike Rizzo moment, I think it was in Atlanta. It was during COVID, that shortened season. He got tossed. I think it was Joe West that tossed him he said something from up in the the luxury suites, and he got tossed from the game.
Yep. I remember that.
And covered up from the luxury suites. Well, the All-Star game just right around the corner here, guys, and the All-Star rosters have been announced. I know you guys have gone through them, but starter-wise for the American League, catcher Cal Raleigh, first base Vlad Jr., Gleyber Torres for the Tigers at second, Jose Ramirez from the Guardians at third, shortstop Jacob Wilson from the A's, outfield Aaron Judge, Riley Green, Javi Baez, and Ryan O'Hearn is going to be your DH for the Orioles. National League at catching, Will Smith for the Dodgers, Freddie Freeman from the Dodgers at first, Ketel Marte at second, Manny Machado at third, Francisco Lindor at short, your outfield Acuna, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Kyle Tucker for the Cubs. Your DH is Shohei Ohtani. So pretty stout rosters there, 1 through 9. Not much to really complain about.
Yeah, usually you can pencil in at least one guy in every team's lineup in an All-Star game. It's like, okay, that guy's probably going 0 for 3, 0 for 4. I mean, maybe Ryan O'Hearn, but he's batting close to 300 this year. He's no slouch at DH, and man, we talked about it. I believe it was Wednesday or Thursday when we talked about the lineups, and it's a lot of first-year guys, first-year starters at least. So it's going to be a new look. We're kind of exiting that old era of baseball, getting into some of these new guys, and man, Cal Raleigh.
What a year!
35 home runs now.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a year he's having, and that takes me to the next topic. Who's the biggest All-Star snubs? Guys who didn't get in. There's some pretty good guys in that list right now.
Yeah, obviously, Cubs guy. So Seiya Suzuki, it hurts. He's at 20. Michael Busch, another good one. I think the thing with Suzuki though is his batting average. It doesn't look good. It's like in the 260 range, which again isn't good. But 24 home runs and 75 RBIs, I believe
it's
now.
Still some good numbers.
He's leading the majors in RBIs. He's getting up there in the home run.
He's behind PCA, who's in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
That's
and then Michael Busch hit like 37 home runs this weekend, so that may be a little recency bias kind of going in for that one, but he's looked good. He's getting to where he's in the lineup now against left-handed pitching because he couldn't hit a lefty if his life depended on it, last year, but he's kind of worked out of that this year. So, again, two big snubs out there.
And then Juan Soto, not in. Mookie Betts is not in. Really, on the American League side, a couple pitchers didn't get in, but when you think of Juan Soto and Mookie Betts, perennial All-Star guys.
Yeah. And if you told me Juan Soto signed a $765 million or whatever dollar contract and wasn't playing in this first All-Star game after that, I would have thought he's hurt.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, he's not having the best year, but it's not terrible.
It's not bad, and I guess when you look at it from the point that we were talking about where there's a lot of new guys, this is your first year, but you look at how great of a season that they're having. You might start thinking Soto was still good, but then you look at the people ahead of him and it's like, there was a lot of really good players that were ahead of him.
Yeah, and I think recency bias is a big thing. He had a great month of June. He was, I think, the MLB Player of the Month. If not, he was at least the NL Player of the Month. So surprising to see him not in the All-Star game. But again, we have some injuries, probably that may shoot up in the next week and a half. I know Gleyber Torres is probably looking a little iffy because he went down this weekend. So again, different leagues, but there's crazy things that can happen.
I'm just excited that there's more than one Brave on the
I was
All-Star
getting ready to
At
bring
least
that
more
up.
than
You got
one.
Yeah.
Cunha, Matt Olson, and Chris Sale. Hey, how about Chris Sale? Nice little comeback
I
year.
know.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he's on the 60-day IL right now, and he won't be able to do anything. Yeah.
Hey, he can show up, put his kids on the front lawn, and watch the home run derby there. But there was a trade. Someone tweeted something out, and I saw it over vacation. How about this? The New York Mets, when they traded for Javi Baez, sent Pete Crow Armstrong to the Cubs for Javi Baez. Now, both of them are not playing for the Mets. Both of them are all-stars, and they're both of them in center field. The Mets' current center fielder's hitting .215.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. Well, I saw one today that
Frank
I think it was the Royals maybe or someone like that, and they had DFA'd Brent Rooker and somebody else. It may have been Ryan O'Hearn. And they're both in the All-Star game. And so
it just, as a Cubs fan, I don't want to bring up so many Cubs trades from back in the day. It just reminds me of when the Orioles sent Pedro Strop and Jake Arrieta to the Cubs, two key pieces in that 2016 World Series run, and just Ryan Sandberg coming over from the Phillies, or getting an Anthony Rizzo from the Padres. It's a lot of. We all can talk about great trades that our teams have made throughout the years, so it's good to go down those. Well, guys, coming up next, I'm going to break out a topic for these guys. They don't know what's coming. Something I heard on the podcast. Can't wait to hear their reactions. That's coming up next.
Since opening our doors in 1904, Builtwell Bank has existed to be the local economic engine for the communities we serve. No matter if you're buying a car, saving for retirement, or finally buying that forever home, Builtwell Bank is here to help. From personal checking and savings accounts to a full suite of business and commercial banking with treasury management services, we'll make sure you'll have a dedicated Builtwell banker that understands your unique needs and stands by you every step of the way. No matter where you are in Tennessee or Northwest Georgia, there's likely a Builtwell Bank location nearby. Come see us and let our dedicated financial team help you with all of your banking needs. Member FDIC.
For the best meal from south of the border, head to Cocina Real and Puente Grande for lunch and dinner. With a wide array of mouth-watering entrees, there's something for everyone on the menu. And you can't forget the cheese dip. They'll treat you like family, and you'll never leave hungry. Make Cocina Real Mexican Restaurant and Puente Grande Mexican Restaurant your choice for authentic cuisine, located in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you. Because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
Working with Gina was great because she really knows this area. I gave her the specifications of what I was looking for, and she took me right to my forever home.
I met Gina when she sold my son's home within 5 days after it hit the market. With my home, from the day the sign hit the yard to the day we signed the papers, Gina was there every step of the way. Her involvement in the sale of my home was the best decision that I made.
We never felt like Gina was pushing us to make a deal with a buyer. She knew what we wanted, and she worked diligently to get us the best offer for our properties.
Working hard for my clients to make their dreams come true. Let me work for you.
Hey Lawrenceburg, looking for something new? Come to Happy G's, located at 210 East Gain Street. We have pitching machines, batting cages, and even indoor golf. Powered by TrackMan, our system is perfect for practice or play. With over 300 courses as well as multiple mini games, it is perfect for all ages and abilities. We even offer packages for group events such as birthday parties and business lunches. So let's go! Come get your game on indoors at Happy G's.
Are you tired of missing out on family life just to be treated like another truck number? Since 1986, Southeast Carriers has been a family-operated business based in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Being family-owned ourselves, we understand the importance of family, which is why we value it above all else. With our large number of dedicated lanes and our friendly staff, we are able to evenly divide your home time with the amount of time you spend on the road. We offer multiple benefits with large company pay now starting at $20 per hour, all while keeping a small company environment. For more information, visit our website, southeastcarriers.com, or check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
Going the distance for local sports. This is X Sports Today.
Welcome back to X Sports Today. AJ Good with Taylor Plott, Michael Marks, and Hayden Burks. And guys, every now and again, I like to throw a question out to these guys. I heard someone I was working out this morning on a podcast, and you can go. I mean, obviously, you probably won't have a hockey team in there. We're trying to get their knowledge of the great game on ice going up. But the title of it was on Bill Simmons, and the title was the 5 bleakest franchises in the NBA, and they did 5 for each the West and the East. But it kind of brought to my mind, if you're a player, and you can do baseball, basketball, football, wherever you want to go. If you're a player right now, what is the one team you do want to play for, and what's the one team you don't want to play for?
Ooh, that's a good one.
You can have multiple examples. You don't have to pick just one.
Okay.
And you can go all over the place.
I'm going to go from this route. I'm going to say one team. If I was a mediocre player, the Lakers, I would not want to play there right now.
Yeah.
I would not want to play there right now. And if just a bad situation and just an organization that struggles, probably Portland. Portland or Toronto.
Yeah.
Just because nobody wants to go there. It's just it's one of those organizations that are just one of those small market teams like that.
And Toronto,
it's cold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were one of the guys' top teams. I think it was the top team in the East because they've overpaid for so many guys. Not only are you going to a place that's not great, but they're not going to give you the money.
Yeah, we would give you the money. Yeah.
I will. Can I do two different sports?
Yeah, you can go wherever you want.
So I'll stick with the NBA for the first one.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I would not want to be in the Pelicans organization.
Yeah, that one's a good one.
That's a good one.
That one, it just seems like that's where superstars just end up going to die, basically, unless for some reason they end up. It's cursed.
Yeah.
And then I would say, from a right now perspective, I would honestly say I would go with Oklahoma City as like a place that I would want to be in because I feel like they obviously coming off of NBA Finals, so at this point you feel like you're getting up and up and up.
Yeah.
Plus, that fan base is all behind you. Yeah. That is a good small market team. They got a lot of good players. I feel like the front office, coaching staff, that's a good spot to be in.
Yeah.
Going into the baseball realm. I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all know where I'm going with the worst possible place. You don't want to be the White Sox.
Yeah, you don't want to be with the White Sox.
That's you're praying that you do not get drafted to the White Sox.
Not a great fan base. I don't want to say horrible, but not a great fan base.
Yeah.
It's great when the team's great.
Yeah,
but
it is. Yes,
it's the complete opposite of what happens on the north side.
Yeah,
they show up no matter what.
Yep.
It's they only show up when they're great. On the south side, but also there's a lot of turmoil in that front office with the ownership. And, they're being rumored to move.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of stuff going on.
You don't know where it's in ballpark's in a horrible location. And they don't spend money the way that they need to. They have a decent minor league set up there, but, most of those guys, when they do come to the big leagues, flame out.
Yeah.
They've had how many rebuilds at this point?
Let's see.
Every season?
About every other year. Because
Yeah.
the thing is that they'll have a bad year and they'll be like, okay, we'll bring a bunch of these youngsters up that aren't ready to come up, that, like you say, flame out and you never hear of again, and then they're back at square one.
Yep. The good one. I might be coming out of left field with this one, but I feel like they're a solid spot to be right now. That's going to be the San Diego Padres.
Padres, yeah.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Because if you look, I know people were probably hearing it's like, well, why not the Dodgers? They're going to be like the number one team. That's the thing. The Padres have a great fan base. They have a great organization going on. They can beat the Dodgers. They've proven that they have. What was it, a couple of years ago where they ended up winning the West, and the Dodgers, 2021, and the Dodgers was a 101 win team, and they got a wild card spot. So they can prove that they can go toe to toe with them. And I honestly, from my perspective, I like that aspect. I like being able to be a part of that team that's like, you know what, let's go take down the giant that is the Los Angeles Dodgers. And we have a good team to do it. I think it's a good atmosphere. San Diego is a fantastic city. And I really think that would be a good destination spot.
Yeah, if you're a minor leaguer, it's not, because
it's not.
You're not going to be there for long.
Yeah.
They do not. We know locally, from one person that it's probably not the best place to come up through. But if you're signed, like you mentioned, if you're signing a free agent deal, it's a great ballpark, great location. The fan base is rabid.
Oh yes,
really rabid, and it's could be a great destination there. The one I'll definitely throw out one team you don't want to be a part of is Pittsburgh.
Yep.
God bless.
In most sports.
The fans are just over the Pirates, and you can't blame them.
Yeah.
And the ownership is awful. They don't spend money. They continuously get one bad coach after another that does not know how to work with these guys or do the best that they can. It's not a diss at the guy that they have right now, but it's almost like, okay, we had our shot with Clint Hurdle and those good teams, and now we're just. Everyone comes to PNC. Yeah, other fans do.
Because it's a great park. But there's not a great team there.
Yeah.
Because I saw something today, and I don't remember if it was his last 11 or his last 13 starts for Paul Skeens. He has an ERA of like 1.72 in those last starts, and he has one win.
Yeah.
One win in his last 13 starts.
4-7 with a sub 2.5 ERA right now. They just don't. Their minor league system is not great. They don't build. They don't know how to develop. And it's just, you can go to a great ballpark and hopefully, you can be a great player on a bad team and get traded for and then get a big contract one day. No one goes to Pittsburgh to win. So that's my for sure. You took the White Sox from me. Them and Pittsburgh, but as far as like teams you want to go to, obviously San Diego and LA are going to give you big money. Philly will give you big money, and they've got rabid fans. The Cubs are. They're
getting there.
They're giving us some 2015, 2016 vibes right now. With
they had the same record through 87 games. They were 52 and 35.
They're giving you some good vibes. Boston could be a good location, but who knows if the front office wants to spend money.
That's exactly where I was going to go. It's like Boston could either be the best team to go or the worst team to go because you don't know how the front office is going to be. Sometimes they want to spend money. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes the fans love you. And if they don't, they really don't love you.
Yep, and they make you know it.
Yeah, but I was going to go the worst place to go, Oakland. Well, not Oakland anymore. I guess, whatever. The Athletics, as they're labeled now for this year, they don't spend money. So you're going to get a bare minimum contract, and if you play too good, they'll send you to the minors. Their team has had to pick up and move because they don't think they have a good fan base for some reason. Right. I think that in all of sports, the one place you don't want to go is the Athletics.
And they keep telling everyone, man, when we go to Las Vegas, we're really going to ramp it up. Well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Why don't you ramp it up now?
Yeah. They saw that, like, they had that one night, and I think it was like the fans just had like a little revolt, so to speak, and be like, hey, we'll show up, and they sold out the Coliseum. It was like 40-some-odd thousand seats on like a Wednesday night. I mean, they have good fans. It's just they want to watch a good product on the field.
Exactly, and it's one of those things where I feel like you start getting a disconnect from some of these front offices where they're like, oh, well, obviously we don't have fans anymore because we have like a 40,000 seat stadium and 9,000 of it gets sold out on on a night-to-night basis. Well, obviously they don't want us here, so we'll pick up and move. Yeah. That's not the case, though. Yeah. Put a good product on there, and they'll come.
We did leave out one that's glaringly obvious, and it just hit me. Do you want to go play for the Marlins?
Yeah.
Honestly, I was going to put them as one of my better teams overall, just because of the fact you get to live in Miami. You're in Coral Gables, so you're in the nice part of Miami. I mean, I think they're third in the division right now. You're not expected to do much, and you get to go hang out at a ballpark for a couple hours a day.
Yep.
If you don't care about results, Miami might be the place to go.
It might don't care about lack of fan interest.
Yeah. You'll be best friends with all 36 of your season ticket holders.
Exactly.
Awesome.
That's the big thing. It's not so much an organizational thing for me. It's like, man, what sounds better to you? A Wednesday afternoon in LA or a Wednesday afternoon in Miami? Both are great locations, but one's going to pack out the ballpark and the other's going to be.
I would say even when the Angels aren't good, they still have fans showing up to games.
Same with the Angels, same with the Dodgers, same with the Cubs. It's lots of things. NFL wise, what's the one place you guys don't want to go?
Tennessee.
Well, the Titans came to mind first, just because
stadium looks good. I drove by it.
I would say we're all local, so we, at least us three have lived here our whole lives. We see the dysfunction in that in the front office firsthand. We've seen the last 3 or 4 draft picks be complete busts. I mean, you're building a new stadium. That's kind of cool, but is it going to end up being like Las Vegas, where they have a new stadium and they're not any good?
Titans. There's nowhere else, in my opinion.
Y'all might be shocked if I say this, but I'm the Dallas Cowboys.
Ooh,
yeah, and the expectations are outrageous.
That's the thing, and I like the Cowboys. I wouldn't consider myself a fan of the Cowboys. I'm more of a Buffalo Bills fan, but my grandparents grew up in Texas. Cowboys fans. So when I was growing up, we've always, if they're on TV, we watch the Cowboys. And I know that deep down, I feel like Jerry Jones wants to do good. Obviously, he wants to put out a Super Bowl contending team year in and year out. But my goodness, he needs to take his hands out of that pot and let some other people decide what to do, because he thinks he's doing well for that franchise, and he's actually hurting it in the process. I would not want to go there. I know that the fans are great. I know that the expectations are always going to be high, but my goodness, year in and year out, you just crash and burn. I do not want to be a part of that.
Because even when they have good teams, it's the team that I think it was 2016, 2017 that year, they went 13-3 and they lost in the first game to the Packers.
Yep. So. Was that the Tony Romo? Was that the fumble?
No. That was Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott's first year.
Oh, that's right. I go back to the butt fumble.
Yeah.
How about the Jets?
The Jets, that's pretty bad organization.
Yeah.
You have a great fan base, but man, they are tortured. Your front office doesn't. I mean, you've literally got 13 and 14-year-olds making decisions in the front office. Read the reports. It's pretty crazy what was going on.
Yep.
Well, I think that the Giants maybe should listen to those 13 and 14-year-olds telling their dad, "Hey, you should draft." I don't remember who it was. It was somebody who was like, "Oh yeah, Jaden Daniels. Hey, you should draft Jaden Daniels." And he was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I mean, in neither New York team, because your coach is always on the hot seat. They don't develop guys all that well. Not really a great place to be.
Well, in my mind goes to, man, once you get to like week 4, it's cold the rest of the year.
That's true.
And if you're not good,
there's no dome.
And that's the thing. And if you're not good, playing out in the cold, and every week you're just dreading Sunday or Thursday or Monday or whenever you end up playing.
Which, if you're going to go play for a cold weather team, go play for Buffalo. They seem to have, they're always in contention, especially recently. You got a great quarterback, and they seem to reload and not rebound anymore. So it could be a good place to go.
That would be a good place
I'm going to go similar to that, Minnesota.
Yeah.
They have an indoor now, one of those new futuristic stadiums. It's nice, and it seems like every time they're about to have a down year, they'll start like 5-0, and you're like, okay, maybe the Vikings are the real deal. And sure, they haven't had playoff success, ever really. I mean, they've had, I believe, 1 or 2 NFC Championship appearances, but it seems like a good place to play that you never hear about really any drama in their front office. Kevin O'Connell's a great coach. They've had typical good quarterback play over the years. Their defense is going to be stifling. I mean, it seems like a very good program to go play for.
The good one I would go with now, if I remember correctly, Michael, correct me if I'm wrong, from a front office standpoint, I feel like they're okay, but this is majority on just who the coach is and how well that team locker room seems like it is. the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
D'Amico
Everybody
Ryans,
loves D'Amico.
D'Amico Ryans is not only a really good coach and defensive mind, but he is a really good just personality to have in that locker room. Very relatable to the players. And I feel
D'Amico was in that era that the C.J. Strouds and the Tank Dells grew up watching.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is, it's kind of, sort of like it's kind of their hero coaching them.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of that in the NFL. These younger guys that former players are going to be getting head coaching jobs because we've seen it work out in this case, and the players love them. And we saw Houston make a huge turnaround in 1 year. That's another good place.
Detroit's a good place.
Detroit, I would go to
right there. Who doesn't want to play for Dan Campbell?
Oh man, good. I would run through a brick wall for him.
That's what
he gets me ready every Sunday morning to run through a brick wall for him. And
Dan Campbell's man.
Another curveball at these guys. And look, we got great content.
I liked it.
Wait till Trivia Tuesday tomorrow.
Oh gosh,
love throwing the curveballs. Well, coming up next, guys, we'll wrap up the show, kind of a rapid fire when we return.
A Moment in Real Estate with my dad, Jeff Hood.
You know, I get asked a lot about what the market's going to do. How's the real estate market? I've been selling real estate for a long time, and nobody has a crystal ball. And you know what? When it's your time to buy or your time to sell, it really doesn't matter what the market's doing. It's your time, and you have to do something maybe. What makes a difference is the agents and the experience that go to work for you. We're Keller Williams Hood Company, located here in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. We can help.
Hood Company, powered by Keller Williams, the #1 name in real estate.
A&M Medical is Lawrence County's newest medical clinic, specializing in urgent and primary care. Practitioners Andrea Bain and Meredith Hutton bring years of experience and compassion to keep you and your family healthy. A&M Medical features a separate well waiting room to meet your needs. Visit today and ask about A&M's weight loss program and telemedicine services. That's A&M Medical, located at 2367 Highway 43 South in Leoma, Tennessee.
Got a dent, a ding, a scratch, or a bent fender? Major or minor, Car Country Collision Center in Leoma can fix you up. Car Country works with all insurance carriers, gives free estimates, can work on foreign and domestic vehicles, and has experience you can trust. They've been in business since 1990. Unfortunately, accidents happen, but you can get your car back on the road with as little hassle as possible with the help of Car Country. Call 931-852-4708 or stop by at 2567 Highway 43 South in Leoma.
A local law firm respected throughout the state. Generations of clients have turned to Boston, Holt, and Durham since 1948. We assist individuals and businesses with their legal needs, including real estate, property closings, personal injury, employment discrimination, and family law. Our clients get the personal attention and convenience of a hometown law firm with the resources and ability to handle any case. Come see us at Boston, Holt, and Durham.
Going the distance for local sports. This is X Sports Today.
And welcome back to X Sports Today. AJ Good with Taylor Plott, Michael Marks, Hayden Burks. Guys, a little bit of breaking news. We'll let these guys get into a little bit more in their SEC show coming up here in just about 30 minutes. But Oklahoma AD Joe Castiglione, big word to say there, will retire from his full-time role the upcoming school year, bringing an end to the longest tenured run for a current AD in major college sports. So they're looking for his successor right now, and kind of wild timing for your AD, going into your second year in the SEC to be stepping down.
Well, earlier in the summer, me and Hayden did a kind of a deeper dive looking at the year one for Oklahoma and Texas and the SEC and how it kind of went. And we went, if this was a year in the Big 12 for Oklahoma, I'd probably give this like a D or a C minus, something like that. But first year in the SEC, they weren't terrible. They, they were still very good in softball, basketball, women's basketball were very good, but football, you didn't see that level of success. Baseball was all right. It was just you didn't see consistent success. So, and especially for a guy that's had a run like that, he's been with Oklahoma. I think 98 was his first year. So, he won a national championship, hired Bob Stoops. Oklahoma is consistently usually pretty good at baseball and basketball, and, their women's sports are phenomenal. So definitely a bit of a strange time, but this seems like one of those stepping downs where you kind of have the next guy lined up ahead of time, and it's kind of just a formality sort of thing.
Yeah, they've done that at Oklahoma pretty well.
I'd say it's been working out well for
28 years. This guy had 26 national titles and 117 conference championships. So not a bad span there.
Not a bad span, and I really do think that. Yes, how old was he? I figured he was
67.
He was getting all right. So he was getting to that point anyway. Now, so you've made the transition to the SEC, and yes, you bring a good product to the SEC, and obviously everybody's going to immediately go to football. And they did not have a bad team. Remember, they only gave up 3 points to Alabama. At home. So that's a really good success for them, but. From a whole, I'm really wondering if maybe he was getting to that point of retirement. This is a good transition to where you need to really focus in on you are in the SEC now. It is different than what you had with the Big 12 and across all sports. So trying to kind of maybe get that freshness and see how things progress. You mentioned the stats. That's a great tenure. That is a great tenure at Oklahoma, and it is still a premier program. This is just passing the torch on, and now you're in the SEC, and you need to find someone who can bring that mentality and compete.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think, everybody loves, a good football coaching search, but, coaching searches and stuff like this. But finding your next AD, if you don't have a guy in-house that you're looking at, is a very important hire, because we've seen – I'll just throw it Tennessee for it has had some rough AD stretches. The 1 year of John Curry, he brought you Tony Vitello, has not been very good. Was the 2017 was a bad year, and 2018 through 2020 with Philip Fulmer, that was just a desperation hire.
Well, that was that, and just being he was your guy for so long. It's like, all right, we'll give you a chance.
That was stupidity. That's what that was.
But now you exactly, it was stupid. Nothing made sense.
No, it was,
and not really much good came out of it.
No.
But you look, they got Danny White in 2021, and immediately
everything changed.
Everything went from Tennessee's about to fall over flat on their face, and baseball really good, getting the new stadium. Basketball has been really good. They're getting upgrades to their stadium. The Neyland Stadium is, the football team's been good. They're getting upgrades to their stadium. So, hiring a good athletic director, especially for the era that we're entering, with all the money and stuff like that, it's very, very important.
Yep, absolutely. Well, guys, good show here today. We'll be back at it again. It'll be Trivia Tuesday tomorrow. These guys have no clue what's coming. It makes my job that much funner. So for Taylor Plott, Michael Marks, Hayden Burks, I'm AJ Good. We'll see you guys tomorrow. SEC Tailgate coming up in about half an hour.
Going the distance for local sports. This is X Sports Today.